Welcome to the Department of Defense Computer Electronic Accommodations Program webinar entitled Real Solutions for Real Needs. This webinar is about the Computer Electronic Accommodations Program, better known as CAP. CAP provides reasonable accommodations to federal employees and wounded service members quickly and easily, increasing employment and retention of employees with disabilities. CAP was established in 1990 as a centrally funded reasonable accommodations program for employees with disabilities in the Department of Defense. Following the National Defense Authorization Act of 2000, Congress granted CAP the authority to provide assistive technology, devices, and support services free of charge to federal employees that have a partnership agreement with CAP. Currently, CAP has partnership agreements with 68 federal agencies within the executive branch. In October of 2006, Congress passed legislation providing the authority for members of the armed forces who are provided assistive technology by CAP to retain that technology upon separation from active duty service. Today, CAP has partnerships with 53 military treatment facilities around the world. Our mission at CAP is to ensure that people with disabilities and wounded service members have equal access to the information environment and opportunities in the Department of Defense and throughout the federal government. By fulfilling this mission, CAP is helping make the federal government the model employer for people with disabilities. Who are CAP customers? CAP provides assistive technology and support services to individuals with disabilities and wounded service members. These include individuals that are blind, have vision impairments, deaf, hearing impaired, or with a dexterity, communication, cognitive, or learning disability. CAP increases access to information and works to remove barriers to employment opportunities by eliminating the costs of assistive technology and accommodation solutions. So beyond federal employees with disabilities, CAP also works closely with federal hiring managers. In this regard, with federal hiring managers or supervisors and the IT professionals that support us all, CAP engages these communities who are all involved in the recruitment, placement, promotion, and retention of people with disabilities or wounded service members. Now, many federal employees also develop disabling conditions later in life, perhaps as part of the aging process. Others may be involved in an accident or receive a medical diagnosis, such as cancer, that will impact their ability to work. CAP works to accommodate these employees who may not be as familiar with assistive technology. We help them find potential technology that is available to them that would help them in the return to work process. Speaking of return to work, CAP also works with federal employees who are returning from a workers' compensation injury. CAP encourages workers' compensation claimants who are injured on the job to consider utilization of assistive technology in return to work. Many of those employees may first return to work via telework. CAP also helps accommodate teleworkers with disabilities, whether they're a workers' compensation claimant or an individual who uses telework as a form of reasonable accommodation. And lastly, as I mentioned earlier, CAP supports returning wounded service members by providing them assistive technology during recovery and rehabilitation while they remain on active duty status. CAP services. First and foremost, CAP provides assistive technology and training. We want to make sure that we are providing assistive technology accommodations to ensure that people with disabilities and wounded service members have equal access in the workplace. If employees or service members are not familiar with assistive technology that is available, we'll provide them a needs assessment. Specifically, CAP uses a three-step approach to a needs assessment process. We look at the job, the individual, and the solutions. This three-step process has served thousands of individuals across the government in finding assistive technology that helps them stay on the job and stay productive as part of today's federal workforce. CAP also provides training on disability management and on creating an accessible environment. And finally, CAP supports the compliance with federal regulations for agencies, specifically supporting the various sections of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 as amended. Now, let's look at assistive technology. CAP has broken down assistive technology into several categories. I'm going to go through each one. First, for individuals with dexterity disabilities, CAP provides such accommodations as alternative keyboards, alternative input devices, and voice recognition software. Next, for individuals with vision impairments, CAP provides screen readers, braille terminals, magnification software, and closed-circuit televisions, or CCTVs. If individuals have lost some vision, magnification software or CCTVs help magnify both the electronic and printed materials, while screen readers provide speech output for an individual who has no vision, or braille terminal provides refreshable braille for an individual who is blind and knows braille. Next, for individuals with hearing loss, assistive technology includes assistive listening devices, TTYs, video phones, and captioning services. Next, for individuals with cognitive disabilities, including traumatic brain injuries, CAP provides cueing and memory aids, literacy software, screen readers, and assistive listening devices. These tools have been helpful in accommodating wounded service members as they've come back from theater. Finally, CAP looks at embedded technology. At times, there are devices that are embedded in mainstream technology that suit the individual's needs. Such items as magnifiers, text-to-speech narrators, and on-screen keyboards are available at no cost and are already on an individual's workstation. CAP will assist an individual in discovering what assistive technology they can get through CAP and what might also be available to them as embedded technology. Turning to the next slide, the CAP accommodations profile by disability, this provides a pie chart that highlights the over 130,000 accommodations CAP has provided since its inception in 1990. The first year of activity, FY90, CAP provided 1,372 accommodations. As the chart shows, there's dramatic increase in annual activity and in the types of accommodations provided. In FY01, there's a gradual increase in overall accommodations related to the expansion of CAP services to non-DoD agencies. In that year, CAP provided over 4,400 accommodations. And yet again, in fiscal year 07, there's an increase to 8,775 accommodations as CAP began a serious expansion of services in support of our wounded service members. In fiscal year 11, CAP provided over 12,600 accommodations, the most ever accommodations in a single year. And in this year, fiscal year 14, CAP has provided over 2,300 accommodations to date. This activity shows you that CAP has an experience of providing over 130,000 accommodations for people with disabilities, including workers' compensation claimants and wounded service members around the world. One of the best ways to learn about assistive technology is to visit a technology evaluation center. CAP has CAPTEC, the CAP Technology Evaluation Center, located in the Pentagon. CAPTEC is a facility dedicated to the evaluation and demonstration of a variety of assistive technology solutions. This enables individuals and supervisors to visit, to see demonstrations, to receive needs assessments, to help in the selection process of appropriate computer and electronic accommodations. At CAPTEC, staff is available to work with you to select the most appropriate assistive technology. CAPTEC also hosts tours to increase awareness of assistive technology solutions. Individuals can visit in person or can visit through video teleconference for a virtual tour. Located in the Pentagon, CAPTEC may be reached by calling 703-693-5160 or through TTY at 703-693-6189. You may also email CAPTEC at cap.captec@mail.mil. CAPTEC operates Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and on Fridays via appointment. CAP also has several employment and accessibility initiatives, one of which we'd like to highlight today. The CAP Public Access and Communication Initiative, or PAC, provides assistive technology to increase access to federal programs and services for members of the general public with disabilities. Now specifically, we'd like to highlight 3 location or service centers that CAP can assist with. Assistive technology at these locations impacts access for citizens with disabilities or other recipients of federal services. Customer service centers, such as passport offices, parks or forest stations, and other services accessed by civilians for government service, are available for PAC accommodations. Furthermore, federal technology centers that integrate assistive technology for demonstration, needs assessments, or testing purposes are eligible. And finally, federal employment and training centers. These locations help ensure access throughout the recruitment and employment experience. So if employees or applicants with disabilities are seeking federal employment, they have an equal access to the programs and the program information. More information about the CAP PAC initiative is available on the website, which we will explore shortly. Next, CAP offers on-demand online training sessions. This very popular series has a variety of online trainings that are accessed by nearly 1,000 individuals each month. The online sessions last approximately 4 minutes and cover a variety of topics. We have specific reasonable accommodation sessions for people with hearing disabilities, people with cognitive disabilities, and people with dexterity disabilities. Furthermore, we have 2 general sessions providing reasonable accommodation solutions and increasing federal employment of people with disabilities. We recommend you visit the cap.mil website and access the online trainings. Several agencies, as our partners, have required these as training for their employees to increase awareness of assistive technology for employees and of the CAP partnership. As I mentioned, the CAP website, www.cap.mil, is our central location for news, information, resources, and all of CAP's online business processes. You can visit the CAP website to do just about everything that I've mentioned in this webinar. You can discover CAP scope and agency eligibility under the CAP Customers section. You can browse assistive technology under the Accommodation Solutions page. You can learn more about our employment and accessibility initiatives, such as PAC, or workers' compensation, or telework, under our Programs page. You can access program materials, our assistive technology videos, watch customer testimonials, and access our popular training videos through our Training and Outreach section. And importantly, you can choose to stay connected with CAP via our email list, or liking our Facebook page, or following CAP on Twitter. At our website, you can visit our Stay Connected page and choose the method that you like to receive CAP information and news and to stay updated on our services and related resources. This ends today's webinar. Thank you for viewing the CAP webinar for Real Solutions for Real Needs. For any questions about CAP's webinar series, please contact CAP at 703-614-8416 or email us at cap@mail.mil. Thank you and have a good day.